Another dawn, another day, and that means one thing, another opportunity for the Sussexes to look like absolute buffoons on a global stage. And so thus, it is the perfect opportunity for us to watch together the speech that Meghan has given impromptu in front of the Invictus crowd from start to finish and have a look at the finer details. Possibly point out some of the things that might have not gone down so well as expected. Let's have a look. Let's get to the crunch.
Well, hello, you.
Who does she think she's dressing? It's as if, I don't know, you say that maybe when you're talking to a child or a dog. You know, maybe a friend if you're on those kind of terms, but not when you're addressing an audience of veterans, of some of the strongest people you've ever met who have fought for their country, and you're talking to them like children. It gives me a little shiver. The opening of this speech is somewhat disrespectful, I think.
Well, hello, you. Hi, everybody. How are we feeling?
Great.
How are we feeling? I just get annoyed by her, but that is annoying. I'm not going crazy, and it's just saying it in an annoying way somehow, and I can't even explain it. But how are we doing? It's annoying. Somebody explain the psychology of why just such few words can be said in such an annoying manner. Let's carry on.
How are we feeling?
Great.
So I was not planning on speaking tonight, and we just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago.
Okay, right. When she's talking, she has a bit of air in her voice, as if, obviously she's not prepared this, which is obvious from the speech. It is a disaster from start to finish. But to breathe like that, it's narcissistic, but it's also taking up the precious time of the people who are sat there, who made it a long way to come and compete in these games, and they've tried very, very hard in their disciplines, in their respective disciplines, and she flounces onto the stage, and she can't remember when they arrived. I'm taking up your precious time with my stupid breathing, saying absolutely nothing of any relevance.
So I was not planning on speaking tonight, and we just arrived, I don't know, a couple hours ago, and I touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, it feels like home.
The first thing she absolutely should have said when she addressed this audience is something along the lines of, you people are remarkable, you're incredible, like I have said in this small critique of her speech, referred to the people who are there, just how incredible they are. That is the first thing she should have talked about, not about how she just got in maybe an hour ago. I'm so relaxed, and you were all loving listening to me talking about this utter rubbish. Okay, she's managed to say almost nothing so far, and it is severely annoying. I'm not going to stop this much all the way throughout the speech because that will be annoying for you. We do want to see what she's actually said, but so far, very irritating.
Touched Canadian soil, and I went, oh, it feels like home. We are so excited.
Okay, she touched Canadian soil, and she went, oh, feels like home. She is a storyteller, and she really, because of her narcissism, she likes to take up a lot of people's time. And that is assuming that these people want their time taken up by her, which is so self-centered. They don't. She says later on in the speech, you'll see that these people are tired, probably because they've been training as hard as they possibly can up until this moment, with their bodies that have been broken through fighting for their country. These people are incredible, through fighting for their country to keep the citizens of their countries safe, of their respective countries safe. And she is flouncing again on the stage, talking about how Canada is home to her. And many of you have pointed out in the comments, anywhere she lands is home. Anywhere she touches, again, this is narcissism. Anywhere she lands is her land. She has conquered it. It is her homeland. And this is a statement she makes anywhere she is. So in LA, she grew up there. She actually did grow up in LA. In Nigeria, she is Nigerian according to a DNA test. And then obviously in Canada, she touches the soil and the soil feels like home. So thus, she belongs there. No, she doesn't.
Feels like home.
In fact, the places she does belong, like the family she wed into, she actually actively cannot stand to be there. Her father, who raised her lovingly, she cannot stand to be around. Her siblings, she cannot stand to be with, so much so that she has torn the family apart, breaking hearts, leaving devastation in her path. And none of that. Her actual, where her family is, feels like home. No, Nigeria feels like home, and Canada feels like home, and LA feels like home. But actual family to her doesn't feel like, something is off. Something has gone wrong in her psychological perspective of what home is. She probably should sit down and speak to someone about that. Okay, let's plow on with this disaster of a speech.
We are so excited. We also recognize most of you are probably so exhausted from how much travel you've done, how much adrenaline you have pumping, how excited you are for what is going to be one of the most...
Right, I'm not sure if she said, I've spoken about the adrenaline thing, I think it's ridiculous. It's like saying you must be exhausted after all of that caffeine. I understand that after an adrenaline boost, you get a crash, but these people are anticipating the beginning of the games, so the adrenaline is high. It is not at the end of the games, in which case the adrenaline would have waned off a little and they would be exhausted. She doesn't quite grasp the concept of adrenaline. We've talked about that already, but what does she say here? Does she say connected or connective?
How excited you are for what is going to be one of the most outstanding, memorable, unforgettable, and connected weeks probably for you and for your families. We are just thrilled to be here. And
I don't know, and what the heck is the meaning of that? Connected. She's saying these things that I think they're called buzzwords, that people like her, who think like her, will understand, but the rest of the normal people in the world are really sitting there thinking, what are you talking about? What is she saying? Now, a few of you said she seems drunk, and I can understand why, because she is literally spouting out words that you only say when you're drunk, and only other drunk people can understand. So I get why you're saying it looks like she's taken something, and she's kind of a bit too relaxed. Maybe she's taken a sedative.
I would be remiss if I didn't take the opportunity to introduce someone who means a lot to me, and I know means quite a lot to all of you.
Introduce someone who means a lot to me. Again, she does seem a bit drunk here. What is she saying? Who introduces their husband? A room full of respectable people like that. Someone who means a lot to me. It's almost sexual. Do I want to say it's awkward? I don't want to be involved in that part of their life, but it's seedy and it's fake. It's seedy. That's what it is. It is seedy. Or means a lot to me. What is she saying? Oh,
means a lot to me, and I know means quite a lot to all of you.
And actually, just after she says that, there is a slight jut of her chin, which we could go into if you want, but it's almost like anger in body language, and it's as if she's annoyed when she talks about how other people appreciate her husband. Obviously, the people that are there, some of them do like Harry because, you know, he's created this. He was one of the people who has helped create. I'm not going to say he was the founder because he was not. But he has been a big part of the Invictus games, and it's as if it annoys her deep down inside because he gets more credit than her. And look, just have a slow look at this jut of her chin.
Means a lot to me, and I know means quite a lot to all of you.
There it is. It's almost anger. Right, it does seem like drunken rambling at this point. He's with you, he's in with you. Oh my gosh, I don't know. Blah. Oh, it's really ramble.
You will see him throughout this week. You will see him at the games. You will see him probably curling with you, cheering you on, and
Oh, it is word salad baloney. It's starting to make me feel a little bit sick now.
He'll be cheering you on at wheelchair basketball. He'll be going down that, what is that? Is it the luge? Oh my gosh, you guys, the thing that I will never do.
Right, at this point, really you're hoping that she would have addressed the people that are there and the importance of the people that are there, but she's not so far.
My husband will probably do 3 times because he wants to be there with you. He is in it with you. And you'll see him through all of those moments. He'll be there with you. What you won't have seen is all of the moments that have happened in the lead up to these games.
So hopefully the next half of her speech, she will go into that. But what we are actually going to witness is the polar opposite.
What you won't have seen is all of the moments that have happened in the lead up to these games. All of the moments where, as you know, with families.
She's going to deep dive into her home family life, which we know to not be completely accurate. It is what she wants us to perceive her life as, but we know it's not accurate. We know it's not accurate because there are some lies in what she's saying.
The big rush in the morning and getting ready for school and packing the lunch boxes and making breakfast, and my husband's in all of that with us.
Honestly, I do not believe for one second that she is in a big rush for school. Maybe she has been once if the nanny called in sick and the second nanny was not available and the third nanny couldn't deal with her that day or whatever. She had to do it once, and so she's referring to this one occasion when she was in a big rush. But I just don't believe what she's saying here at all, partly because we know of this lunchbox situation where she doesn't know what a lunchbox is, or does she know what a lunchbox is? Who knows? But what we certainly do know is that this is not a realistic depiction of their day-to-day life, their average morning. Absolutely not.
And then he'll be on his phone and Archie will say, Papa, why are you on your phone? He's like, because it's Invictus. I'm getting ready for Invictus.
This is such a weird statement as well. It's Invictus. I'm getting ready for Invictus. She makes these situations in her head. Did that actually happen? Did Archie say, Papa, why are you on your phone? And the only time we are supposed to believe that the only time Harry is on his phone is in the run-up to Invictus. He doesn't do anything else on his phone. He doesn't look at anything else.
And Archie will say, Papa, why are you on your phone? He's like, because it's Invictus. I'm getting ready for Invictus.
And so we're to believe that he's never on his phone normally, but suddenly he's got to be on his phone. And little Archie's noticed that he's suddenly on his phone, which he's never on normally, and says, Papa, why are you on your phone? And Papa says, it's Invictus. That's Invictus. The drama, it is so far-fetched. The fact that she thinks we're going to believe that is quite hilarious.
It means so much to him. You are his family, just as we are his family. And I hope you recognize how much of his heart he has poured into every single beat that has gotten all of you to this.
Right, I do believe that it means a lot to him because he's not got a lot going on, really. Neither of them do. This is probably one of the biggest things that they've got in their lives. But I don't believe he feels like they're family. I do actually believe that he had some strong connection to his family before Meghan came in and ripped him apart from them, like any toxic person in a relationship tries to do, and she has achieved that. But I do not believe that Harry believes that these people are his family. I think she's just bumbling on here just to pad out the words because she's really unprepared. And she cannot find it within herself to talk about the people that are there sat in front of her.
Week that is going to be spectacular. I need you to know that. I need you to know how much it means to him and how much each of you means to him.
I need you to know that. I need you to know that. There are other ways of stating that. If she really needed to say this statement, which is just baloney anyway, but if she really did need to say what she was saying there, she could have said something like, it is wonderful for all of you to discover this, or I'm so grateful that he feels this way towards you, rather than I need you to know that. You can understand why so many of her staffers are traumatized from working with her, because she has a way of putting things that aggressive. I need you to know that. It is a toxic way of relaying that statement.
So it is my entire pleasure and complete honor.
And here we go, padding out entire pleasure, a complete honor. She does frump out her sentences with extra unnecessary wording, let's say.
To introduce to the stage my husband, the father of our very sweet, excited children who are cheering you on from California, Prince Harry, founder of the Invictus Games, the Duke of Sussex.
Oh, very sweet children. I do like children. I've just had one, and everyone knows, and she is gorgeous. I love her. But I wouldn't go in front of a bunch of wonderful, strong, courageous people and talk about my very sweet children and kind of laugh. It is vomit provoking. I've said it before. Really, the more you look into this speech, the more you are really having to resist the urge to puke everywhere. And there we have it, Prince Harry, the founder, a lie. Once again, they love to lie. Really, the thing that really irks me about her speech is she did not manage to mention the people that are there. If she hadn't prepared anything, she could have taken at least one person aside and said, tell me about your story. How did you end up getting here? And talked about that person, made it about the people that it is about, the people that are there and who have traveled a long way, like she said, and who are possibly tired. Made it about them rather than her need for you to know what she's going through and what her husband has put up with to get you to this stage. It's so upsetting, actually. When you read, I laugh because it is funny how ridiculous she is. But deep down inside, I feel sorry for the people who are there. They didn't ask for it. Under no circumstances. They've worked really hard to get into this competition. And they certainly didn't ask for her to come onto the stage harping about all of her problems and how hard it is for her to get ready with the kids in the morning. And actually, you've got all of your legs, Meghan. You've got all of your arms. You are completely able. And you're talking to these people, first of all, like they're children. And second of all, like your life is hard in the morning. Let's have a look at the comments because they are quite hilarious. Someone said she calls him her husband, like she's the famous one and he's unknown. She's a typical narcissist. Well, you can just tell that from her speech. It's always I'm, me, everything about me. And the people that she's standing in front of are clearly, all of them, significantly better than her. Yet she still makes a speech about her. Someone else said, the most cringy speech by a drunk narcissist ever. A lot of people are suggesting something, and it certainly does seem like it when you sit through the whole speech. Someone else said, again, she makes it all about her. It's about the bloody veterans. Why are they letting her talk? I wouldn't be surprised if they actually didn't let her talk. You have seen the clip where she grabs the microphone from someone and they have to fight for it. I'll put it in. I'll drop it in here if I can find it. They have to fight it off of her. She's scary. We know Meghan's scary, and we know she can come across as quite aggressive, and she clearly does yoga. We can see those little muscles in her arms. So if she did go to grab the mic off of someone, it would be relatively challenging to keep it away from her, I would say. I would just let her have it, because I personally would probably be quite scared if I met her in person. Someone said her teeth are brighter than the torch on my phone. Teeth do look ridiculous here. That is certainly true. Someone else said, with billions of women around the world, how could he pick someone who is the craziest and weirdest woman? She looks like she is high on something, not knowing this is a very important moment to honour the veterans. She does not look dignified at all. I would go as far as to say that dignified is something she never looks. Dignified is not a word I would ever use to describe Meghan, but she's particularly awful in this speech. Someone else said, we in Canada are not excited to have her in Canada. Well, there you go. The people have spoken. They do not like her, having her there. If anything, the Canadian earth is sending her signals to go home. Maybe she misinterpreted them as this is home, when actually what Canada was really saying is go home, wherever that is for Meghan. Someone else said, I think she had been drinking. What a disaster for all. Yes, it is an absolute calamity. Someone else said, I read that Meghan received $150,000 for an appearance fee. I hope to the Lord that that is incorrect. That is absolutely devastating if that's the case. They could have spent that money much better. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button if you too feel the urge to vomit when you listen to the speech, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. See you down in the comments.